waves rolled out beneath the moon, leaving silver on the sand. I watched the shoreline disappear like a promise from your hand. The wind was carrying your name across the sleeping ocean air. 1,000 thoughts I couldn't hold, 1,000 things left hanging there. I spent so long out running ghosts, trying not to look behind. But every road I wandered down led me back to what I'd find. Maybe distance wasn't meant to erase what we became. Maybe every broken piece was calling out your name. After the tide pulls away, after the darkness fades to gray, I see your light across the sea, still reaching out to me. After the storm has passed us by, after the tears and sleepless nights, there's something stronger than goodbye, waiting on the other side. The years move like a passing train, fast enough to blur the view. Yet somehow every memory still carry traces of you. I learned how to stand alone, how to build a life from scars. But every victory I found still felt incomplete at heart. The sky began to open wide, the clouds no longer felt so near. And in the quiet of the dawn, I finally heard it clear. After the tide pulls away, after the darkness fades to gray, I see your light across the sea, still reaching out to me. After the storm has passed us by, after the tears and sleepless nights, there's something stronger than goodbye, waiting on the other side. Maybe we're not who we were then. Maybe that's the point of time, to lose ourselves in changing winds and find a truer line. Every ending left a trace, every silence had a sound, and all the pieces we once lost are slowly coming around. After the tide pulls away, a brighter morning fills the bay. I feel the warmth beneath my feet, like a long forgotten dream. After the storm has passed us by, I lift my head toward the sky, no longer searching for the past. I'm finally free at last. The waves keep dancing with the shore like they've done forevermore. And somewhere in the rising blue, I find a piece of you.
The morning air was crystal clear, the kind that makes you wanna run across the fields beyond the town, toward a rising summer sun. Nothing waiting in our pockets, except a little faith in time. But somehow that felt richer than anything we could find. We believed the world was wide, and maybe we were right. It was better than a dream, better than it seemed. Those days painted everything in impossible colors. Better than a dream, brighter than a movie screen. A little piece of forever hidden in ordinary things. The years arrive so quietly, like waves against the shore, changing every little detail without asking anymore. Still I find moments in the corners of my mind, like treasures left behind for another version of my life. It was better than a dream, parts aren't the finish line, they're the moments in between. It was better than a dream, and somehow it still is, 'cause every memory remains like sunlight through the trees. The road goes on forever, and that's alright with me.
We were sitting by the riverside, watching clouds drift overhead, talking about the future, like it waited just ahead. The years seemed endless back then. The days moved slow and free. We thought we'd always have tomorrow, waiting patiently. But time has a way of moving faster than we realize, turning moments into memories before our very eyes. And now I know what I didn't then. We're all living on borrowed time, trying to hold what we can't keep, learning every day that life runs deeper than it seems. We're all living on borrowed time, under the same open sky. So tell the people that you love before another day goes by. The streets are filled with strangers carrying stories of their own. Everyone is fighting battles nobody fully knows. Maybe that's why kindness matters more than gold or grand design. A simple word can change a life in ways we never find. The clock keeps turning quietly, the seasons come and go, but love remains in places that time can never touch. Another sunset fades away, another chance begins. I spent years running after shadows, trying to be somebody else, building castles out of worry, putting dreams upon a shelf. Every road looked like an answer, every answer changed its name. I was searching for a reason while forgetting why I came. The city lights kept getting brighter, but my vision growing dim, till I heard a quiet whisper saying life is more than this. You can spend forever waiting or step into the unknown. The future doesn't need permission. Crystal lights upon the lake, tiny waves begin to break, every ripple catching fire, like a spark of our desire. Soft reflections moving fast, trying hard to make them last. Every glance becomes a sign, drawing invisible lines. The air is cool against my skin, yet the warmth is growing in, like a secret we both know, but never needed words to show. Everything feels weightless now, we're suspended in the sound, like the world forgot to turn, just to watch our moment burn. Crystal hearts and open skies, glowing underneath the night. Every dream becomes a color, every color comes alive. Crystal hearts and endless roads, following where wonder goes. Nothing else is really needed when the universe unfolds. Footsteps echo through the park, little diamonds in the dark. Every lantern softly sways, like it's dancing with the breeze. Far away the city hums, like 1,000 tiny drums, keeping rhythm for the stars, shining brightly where they are. And the farther that we roam, the more this feels like home. Not a place upon a map, but a feeling we can have. Crystal hearts and open skies, glowing underneath the night. Every dream becomes a color, every color comes alive. Crystal hearts and endless roads, following where wonder goes. Nothing else is really needed when the universe unfolds. Maybe we are passing through, maybe that's what makes it true. Nothing golden ever stays, yet it brightens all our days. So let's hold this while we can, without trying to understand. Some things only make their sense in beautiful coincidence. Crystal hearts and open skies, lighting up the darkest nights. Every memory turning brighter long after it leaves our side. Crystal hearts and endless roads, carrying what wonder showed. 1,000 miles from where we started, yet closer than before. The stars are fading one by one, welcoming the coming sun. Still the magic lingers on, long after the night is gone. Digital moonlight on the river, breaking into silver lines. Everything feels slightly different than it did another time. The city breeze in quiet waves, moving through its endless maze, while the stars above the skyline watch the scene unfold. You and I are passing through like everyone is bound to do, yet something in this moment feels stronger than there's a current underneath, pulling us beyond belief. Digital moonlight in our eyes, painting colors through the night. Every heartbeat synchronized, like we're part of one design. Digital moonlight shining through, every road leads back to you. Not because we planned it so, but because the feeling grew. Beyond the dark, patient as a distant spark. But right now the world belongs to the rhythm of this song. Every building, every sign seems connected by a line, drawing patterns through the air that only dreamers notice there. When tomorrow finally comes and the city wakes again, disappear inside the moment. Digital moonlight still remains, even after all is changed, like a photograph of feeling that time cannot erase. Digital moonlight in our hearts, long after the night departs, keeping every memory bright like a permanent light. The sky grows pale, the feeling stays. Dust was dancing in the sunlight on an old forgotten street, the kind of place where stories linger long after strangers leave. I walk slowly past the storefronts, listening to the breeze, carrying pieces of the past through the cottonwood trees. Every corner seemed to whisper names I'd never known, yet somehow every step I took felt strangely close to home. There are roads that lead us somewhere, and roads that help us see who we've always been becoming without knowing what we'd be. Dust and daydreams in the air, floating softly everywhere, like a song without an ending, like a memory we share. Dust and daydreams all around, turning silence into sound. Every ordinary moment feels a little magic now. The afternoon was growing long, the shadows stretching wide, painting every empty wall with shapes the light designed. The world seemed slow and gentle, like it had nowhere to be. And for a little while that was enough for me. We spend our lives chasing answers across oceans and across years, only to discover wonder was always waiting here. The evening settles softly down, and all is quiet now. Pieces of the dream I used to know. The midnight air is cold and thin, but somehow I still let you in. 1,000 miles between our hearts, yet every night I'm where you are. Tracing shadows on the wall, waiting for a distant call. You were a spark inside the dark, a fleeting sign, a fragile mark. And though the seasons changed their names, I still remember every frame. I hear your voice inside the rain, a melody I can't explain. The closer that I try to be, the more you drift away from me. I'm fading into blue tonight, chasing echoes in the fading light, holding on to what we used to know, even when I should let go. And every star above the sea feels like it's coming back to me. I'm floating where the silence grows, lost between the highs and lows. The photographs have lost their glow, the colors dimmer than before, but every memory remains like fingerprints upon the shore. I walk the streets we used to share, searching for you everywhere, in crowded rooms and empty trains. Your ghost is dancing through my veins. Maybe time will heal the cracks, maybe it won't bring you back. Still I carry what we were, like a song without the words. I'm fading into blue tonight, chasing echoes in the fading light, holding on to what we used to know, even when I should let go. And every star above the sea feels like it's calling back to me. I'm floating where the silence grows, lost between the highs and lows. If I could cross the sky tonight, I'd follow every trace of light to find the place where you remain, beyond the clouds, beyond the pain. And if tomorrow closes in, I'll wear these memories like skin, a quiet fire I can't undo, still burning underneath the blue. I'm fading into blue tonight, but something tells me I'll be alright. The story doesn't end right here, even when you disappear. And every star above the sea reminds me who I'm meant to be, no longer trapped inside the past, learning how to breathe at last. I'm fading into blue tonight, turning sorrow into light, letting all the shadows go, finding strength I didn't know. The city lights are drifting far, like reflections of a distant star. And though the night is deep and wide, I carry hope on the other side. Now the light is getting closer with every passing day. Meet me at the golden horizon, where the sky and ocean shine, where the weight of yesterday can finally leave our minds. Meet me where the future opens like a doorway filled with light. We'll keep running toward tomorrow with our hearts open wide. The city noise fading out, the endless rush no longer calls. I'm learning how to trust the road even when I can't see it all. Every scar became a lesson, every fall became a guide, showing me that strength can grow in the places we once cried. And though the journey isn't easy, I can feel it in my soul. There's a fire moving forward, pulling me towards something whole. Meet me at the golden horizon, where the sky and ocean shine, where the weight of yesterday can finally leave our minds. Meet me where the future opens like a doorway filled with light. We'll keep running toward tomorrow with our hearts open wide. The stars will fade, the night will end, nothing stays the same forever. But every dawn reminds us all that hope can pull us back together. So when the darkness tries to stay and the clouds begin to fill the view, remember there's a brighter place still waiting there for you. Meet me at the golden horizon, where our dreams can come alive, where every fear we've carried loses power with the light. Meet me where the future opens and the colors start to rise. We'll keep chasing something beautiful beneath these endless skies. The morning stretches far and wide, 1,000 colors side by side. And as the daylight fills my eyes, I know it's time to fly. The hollow pines were swaying slow underneath the fading sky. I was driving with the windows down, watching summer drift goodbye. Dust was rising from the gravel like old memories set free. Every mile seemed to whisper things I wasn't meant to keep. I had spent so many years trying not to look behind, yet the past has a way of finding you in time. The road grew darker as I went, but somehow I wasn't afraid. Through the hollow pines tonight, I can see a distant light. Not a miracle or answer, just enough to guide me home. Through the hollow pines tonight, every wrong no longer imagine standing here beneath this wide and endless sky. The stars appeared above the hills like lanterns in the dark, each one holding quiet proof that hope can leave a mark. The wind carried distant music from a porch light down the road, and for a moment I believed I wasn't walking alone. Maybe none of us are perfect. Maybe that's the point of grace, to keep moving through the darkness, even when we lose our way. The pine stood tall behind me, and the dawn ahead. There's an old road near the county line that nobody talks about. It winds between forgotten farms and fields worn down by drought. I found myself there yesterday with nowhere else to go, just a tired heart and worn out boots, following the road alone. The clouds hung low above the land, the air smelled like coming rain, and every step felt lighter than carrying all that pain. I thought I needed answers, but maybe I needed peace. On Mercy Road tonight, I leave the weight behind, every fear that held me captive, fading slowly out of sight. On Mercy Road tonight, the darkness feels less wide, and though I don't know where I'm headed, I know I'll be alright. The rain began in gentle drops, tapping softly on the ground, like the earth itself was washing every sorrow down. I watched the horizon open where the storm had cleared away, and for the first time in a long while I believed in better days. The heart can break 1,000 times and still learn how to mend. The road may twist and disappear, but hope returns again. On Mercy Road tonight, I finally see the light, not at the end of the journey, but shining through the ride. On Mercy Road tonight, I lift my eyes to the sky and thank the miles behind me for teaching me to rise. The rain moved on, the stars came out. Streetlights flicker on the glass, reflections moving way too fast. The city hums beneath our feet like a secret rhythm in the heat. Neon colors paint the rain, running softly down the train. Every face a passing spark, shining briefly in the dark. You appeared without a sound, like you knew I'd be around. Something shifted in the air, something neither of us shared. Time slows down when you're near, every signal crystal clear, like the night has changed its tune just for me and you. We're a midnight circuit, electric in the dark. Every pulse connecting straight into my heart. We're a midnight circuit, running through the night like two distant satellites, finding the same light. Taxi headlights blur the road, the world becomes a moving glow. Every shadow starts to dance, giving silence one more chance. The skyline shines in silver blue, every color leads to you. And the farther that we go, the less I need to know. Maybe nothing lasts forever, maybe that's what makes it real. A fleeting spark can light the sky long enough for us to feel. The city keeps on turning, and so do we. Everybody's chasing something, a bigger house, a faster car, looking for a finish line somewhere beyond the stars. But I met a man on a corner, smiling with almost nothing left. And somehow in that moment I learned what wealth really meant. The richest days I've ever known never came from what I owned. They came from laughter, came from love, and people calling me home. Maybe we've been measuring life with the wrong kind of scale. There's something more than gold, more than everything we're told, more than numbers on a paycheck, more than diamonds we can hold. There's a silver moon. Windows glow above the town, music drifting softly down. Every corner seems alive, every heartbeat amplified. We're running through electric air like we haven't got a care. The city bends around our feet, turning ordinary into sweet. And I don't want this feeling gone. The night is young, the skies are warm. A million sparks are floating free, like they were always meant for me. Neon summer in my eyes, dancing underneath the light. Every second shining brighter, like we're satellites tonight. Neon summer in the dark, leaving glitter in our hearts. We don't need another reason just to stay exactly where we are. Taxi headlights paint the rain, turning gray to candy cane. Every reflection starts to glow like a secret only dreamers know. People laughing by the square, magic drifting everywhere. Tiny moments passing by, yet they feel like endless time. The world is spinning slow tonight, wrapped in colors, wrapped in light. And for once it all feels right, like we're floating through the sky. Neon summer in my eyes, dancing underneath the light. Every second shining brighter, like we're satellites tonight. Neon summer in the dark, leaving glitter in our hearts. We don't need another reason, just stay exactly where we are. If tomorrow comes too soon, we'll say this moment like a tune. Carry it through every day, long after the lights have faded away. Whenever the shadows fall, we'll remember having it all. Just one night was enough to see how beautiful the world can be. Neon summer in my eyes, burning softly through the night. Every memory getting brighter, like a fire in the sky. Neon summer in our souls, a feeling nobody can hold. Yet somehow it stays forever, even after we let go. The city slowly fades from view, still painted in electric blue. And all the stars above remain, calling us back again. The road was lined with silver grass, bending underneath the wind. 1,000 tiny reflections shining where the day had been. I drove toward the fading colors painted on the edge of night, watching every distant hill disappear into the light. There was freedom in the silence, no destination in my mind, just the rhythm of the tires and the beauty left behind. Sometimes all we really need is a little room to breathe, a little space to hear what our hearts have tried to say. On the Northern Lights road tonight, everything feels open wide. Every mile another chapter, every star another guide. On the Northern Lights road tonight, I'm letting go of what I know, trusting every turn ahead, wherever it may go. The night grew deeper overhead, the sky alive with sparks, like a million distant lanterns keeping watch inside the dark. I thought about the years gone by, the people that I've known, and how every single goodbye helped me find my own road. I know it's calling me. On the northern lights road tonight, I can feel a brand new start. Every mile bringing me closer to the place inside my heart. On the northern lights road tonight, I'm no longer standing still. The horizon keeps on moving, and I always will. The stars keep shining overhead, and the road rolls on ahead.
Yeah. The billboards tell 1,000 stories about the things we're meant to chase. Perfect lives and perfect faces, smiling from a distant place. Everybody's selling something, everybody wants attention, but I don't need another version of somebody else's invention. I like coffee in the morning, conversations that are real, and people who don't hide themselves behind what they reveal. Maybe simple isn't boring, maybe simple is enough. My heart is not for sale, not for numbers, not for fame. I don't need the world applauding just to know my name. My heart is not for sale, and I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause the things that matter most to me can't be bought by anything. The trends keep changing every season, like the weather in July, but authenticity survives long after the spotlight dies. I'd rather keep a few good people than a million passing views, because connection means more than popularity ever could. One day all the noise will fade, and all the lights grow dim. The only thing we'll carry forward is the life we've truly lived. My heart is not for sale, and never will be. There's a kid riding a bicycle down a quiet neighborhood street, laughing like the world belongs to him without needing anything. There's a woman at a bus stop, holding flowers in her hands, looking at them like they're treasures, more precious than any grand enough. Picture slowly fades, but the feeling always stays. Walk the road beyond the pines, where the river bends and hides, carrying a heavy heart and a past I couldn't leave behind. The fields were brown beneath the sun, the wind was cold against my skin. Every mile I wandered through felt like paying for my sins. The church bell echoed far away across the valley and the trees, like a voice I used to know, calling softly through the breeze. I kept running from the shadows, but they followed every step. No matter how far I traveled, they were waiting for me yet. Down by the river of dust, I laid my burdens in the mud, watched the water carry pieces of the man I used to be. Down by the river of dust, the silence spoke enough, and for the first time in forever, I could finally breathe. I could finally breathe. The moon rose over broken barns, silver on the weathered wood. Every scar I tried to hide was shining where I stood. I remembered every promise, every word I left unsaid. All the bridges burned behind me, all the roads that led me here. Maybe grace arrives in silence, maybe healing comes this way. Not with thunder from the heavens, but one small step each day. The river kept on moving, and so did I. We grew up under streetlights, not chandeliers and gold, sharing stories on the sidewalk, watching summer nights unfold. No private jets above us, just airplanes crossing skies, making wishes from the backyard as they disappeared from sight. The magazines kept telling us what success was supposed to be, but none of it looked anything like the lives we'd actually see. Maybe we're not made for castles, maybe that's alright. We're small town stars tonight, shining in our own light. No diamonds hanging from our hands, still we're doing just fine. We're small town stars tonight, dreaming underneath the sky. We don't need a perfect picture,
like an open road. Nobody else could tell. Summer on the roof tonight, golden dreams and city lights. We were running through the hours like they never fade away. Summer on the roof tonight, everything was shining bright. And though the years keep moving, part of me still wants to stay. Now the streets have changed their faces, and the seasons come and go. Somewhere in another lifetime, we're still young and never slow. The photographs are fading, but the feeling still remains, like a melody returning when it starts to softly rain. Maybe growing up just means learning how to carry dreams, even when they change their form, even when the summer's gone. Yeah. Oh. The stars are still above the town, even if we're different now. An old guitar beside the doorway, dust collecting on the strings. Still it holds 1,000 echoes of forgotten summer dreams. The park bench by the station, where we used to spend our time, looks exactly like it always did. Only now it's not quite mine. The world keeps moving forward, whether ready or not, and every step ahead leaves something in the past. But maybe that's not sadness. Maybe that's just life. The things we leave behind never really disappear. They become the quiet voices that we carry through the years. The things we leave behind shape the people we become. Every road we've ever traveled signals in the air, floating softly everywhere, like invisible designs crossing through our separate lives. Music echoes from afar, underneath 1,000 stars. Every moment feels suspended, like the night could never end. I don't need to understand every detail, every plan. Sometimes all it takes is one silent connection. The room is spinning slowly now, but somehow I feel calm. Velvet signals calling me across the city endlessly, like a whisper in the static, like a hidden melody. Velvet signals in the dark, leaving traces on my heart, turning ordinary moments into pieces of art. The moon hangs over empty streets, silver dancing on concrete. Every window holds a dream, brighter than it first appears. People moving in and out, searching for what life's about, while we're standing perfectly inside this mystery. Every light eventually fades, every night gives way to day, but some feelings stay alive long after they drift away. The signals slowly disappear, yet somehow still remain. Stretched beyond the hills like a ribbon made of gold. The evening painted every cloud in colors I could never hold. I left the city far behind, its noise fading with the miles. The only thing I carried now was a pocket full of hopeful signs. The radio played quietly, like it knew just where to go, and every mile beneath the wheels felt lighter than the ones before. There's a feeling in the distance, calling softly through the air, like the world is opening wider every time I dare. Under a westbound sky tonight, I'm chasing dreams into the light. Every road becomes a story, every turn reveals a sign. Under a westbound sky tonight, nothing feels too far away. I'm following the horizon till it carries me away. Small towns sleeping in the dark, old signs glowing by the road. Every window held a life, every heart a different hope. The mountains stood like ancient guards, watching over passing years, and somehow in their quiet strength they seemed to calm my fears. Maybe home is not a place, maybe it's a mood. between where we've been and what we're hoping to find. The stars arrive one after one, guiding me into the night. The coffee's cold upon the table. The sunlight creeps across the floor. Everything is just the same now, but it doesn't feel like before. The photographs still line the hallway. The books are sitting on the shelf. Funny how a room can change without changing by itself. I spent years chasing tomorrow, always looking down the road, never seeing all the beauty in the things I used to hold. Sometimes we don't understand what we have until it's gone. Sometimes the lesson takes a while to finally come along. But when the morning comes again and the shadows reach their end, I see all the little moments that I never noticed then. When the morning comes again, I won't let them slip away, 'cause the smallest parts of living are the ones that always stay. The rain falls softly on the window, like a memory passing through, bringing back forgotten feelings and old conversations too. I used to think the big dreams mattered more than anything I knew. Now I find the greatest treasures in the ordinary few. Every ending leaves a lesson. Every goodbye leaves a mark. Every road we travel teaches how to find light in the dark. The morning comes, and so do I. Morning hiding in the dark, tiny silver sparks embark across the rooftops of the town as the stars are settling down. The sky is painted pale and bright, halfway between day and night. Everything is standing still, balanced on the edge of thrill. I can hear the distant sea softly back to me, like a melody unknown, waiting to be fully shown. There's a beauty in between what is gone and what has been. Every ending leaves a door open into something more. Wide horizon calling out, past the fear and past the doubt. Every step becomes a story, every road becomes a song. Wide horizon shining wide, like a wave we cannot fight, pulling us toward tomorrow with a quiet kind of light. Clouds are drifting overhead, drawing pictures as they spread. Every shade becomes a dream, brighter than it used to seem. The city slowly wakes below, while the sky begins to glow, and the world feels fresh again, like it washed away the pain. Every lesson, every scar brought us closer to this part, standing where the future starts, with open hands and open hearts. Wide horizon calling out, past the fear and past the doubt. Every step becomes a story, every road becomes a song. Wide horizon shining wide, like a wave we cannot fight, pulling us toward tomorrow with a quiet kind of light. When the shadows reappear and the path is less than clear, we'll remember what we found in the silence, in the sound. Every